Yeah, I guess I was. I was just a kid. You know how kids are. They don't have any sense about liking things. They go nuts over something, and when it's gone...
Yeah, maybe that's why...
Maybe that's why I don't make friends? Yeah, maybe it is. I saw the way it hit Johnny when Tony McGill got it. Nobody's going to hurt me like that. Nobody. I don't even write to no one.
No? You got a fountain pen on you. What's that for?
Somebody gave it to me at the USO. I never used it yet. I'm never gonna.
Hey, there goes the star shell. And it's red.
That's us.
This is the advance. It's no Pickett's charge. It's an unpatterned moving of detachments in all directions. Your platoon moves out ahead of you. But this time, they're not clay pigeons. This time, the object is not to get killed. Kelly's up ahead. He's a good guy, that lieutenant. Always goes first, leading his men. You can get to love a guy like Kelly. You're flanking the village this time, crossing a field toward a low wall. Behind the wall is an orchard, lousy with Nazis. Mortars behind every tree. They wait until the platoon is close enough and then let loose.
I'm coming! Medic! Okay, fella. Where are you headed?
Medic!
I'm right here, Doc.
Doc, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, I know, kid.
You look for his wound. The mud is so thick that it's covered up his legs. You look again. There are no legs.
It's bad, Doc. Tell me the truth. Is it bad?
It's all right, kid. It's all right. Just take it easy now. Here's a hypo for you till the stretcher bearers get here.
You got a cigarette?
Sure.
I'm sorry I'm making such a fuss. But it hurts so.
You give him a double injection of morphine. And for the last 5 minutes of his life, you give him a butt. It won't last long. Neither will he. So you give him the best smile you've got on hand and move on after your platoon. The platoon is hard to find in the dust. All you know is they were headed for a wall, and that's where you go. There are soldiers all around you, but none you recognize until you see that tall guy starting to go over the wall and then falling crazily back into the mud. It's Red. You run to his side.
Where are you hit, Red?
Leg.
Which one?
This one. It took my foot off.
No, it didn't.
That's Kelly. He got it.
I'll get him next. Here, let me get your shoe off.
All right. Take it easy, Doc.
Okay, now wait. There you are. Yeah, went right through the back of your leg. You get hurt that bad in a football game. You ever play football?
All right, blow it. I don't need any of your bedside manners. Save it for Kelly.
You're a funny guy, Red.
Yeah, ain't we all?
All right. Did you take your sulfur pills?
I don't need pills. I can get along all right.
Are you going to take them, or do you want me to ram them down your throat?
All right.
Give me your sulfur powder.
Here.
Now, listen, don't try to crawl back, Red. They're raking the field. Lie close to the wall. On this side, you're okay.
All right, wait a minute.
There, that bandage will hold.
Forget about me, will you?
No. You crawl through that mud and you won't have a leg. You do as I tell you now. You stay here.
I'm coming, Kelly!
You slither over the wall and lie at the bottom for a moment. You're on the bad side now, right in the enemy's fire. You locate Kelly. He's crunched in a heap under an olive tree. You start up. Then duck. Machine gun bullets hit the wall over your head. After a moment, you crawl toward Kelly. He's sprawled out like a discarded doll. When you're close to him, you speak into his ear.
Where are you hit, Kelly?
He's clutching his side. A shell fragment has torn a hole in him, but he's alive. You know he wants water. That kind of a wound dries a man right up.
Right now. Drink a lot, Kelly.
When he's done drinking, you fix him up. It takes a long time. Minutes are like hours when there's hell all around you. His face turns a bad color. You've got to have plasma. Then there might be a chance. But first you've got to get him over the wall and out of the line of fire.
Can you crawl, Kelly? Even a little.
I'll try, Doc.
All right, come on up. I'll drag you.
So you both inch along. There's blood in Kelly's mouth, and that's not good. Even so, there's a chance. You're almost to the wall when he shakes his head.
Let me rest. Just a minute. Just a minute.
You lie beside him while he sits in the mud.
Hey, we better get going, Kelly. I'm dropping shells right close now. Come on, fella, try again. Kelly!
But Kelly doesn't move. He just lies heavy and still. You shake him. Then you roll him over. One side of his face is wet with red mud. A chunk of shrapnel is ripped off his jaw. You pull out an EMT, and you slowly fill it in. But it's difficult to make out the words you're putting down.
Joseph Kelly, Second Lieutenant, Company B, K-I-A.
Now you've got to leave Kelly like you left Red and Johnny and the kid. You've got to go to your platoon. So you rise to a crouch, ready to spring for a ditch. A ton of brick hits the side of you. You're thrown against the wall. For a moment you feel nothing but surprise, and then like a slow fire, the pain comes. Your leg throbs like someone was beating it with a sledgehammer. Then you remember. It's up to you. Now you've got to take care of yourself. So you take your pills, shoving them into your mouth like you've shoved them into a dozen other mouths. You cut away your trouser leg. You're dripping sweat that's like ice water. You pour in the powder and you slowly wind the bandage around a wound that reaches from your calf clean up to your hip. You've got to get to the other side of that wall where it's safe. It takes everything you've got inside of you to do it. Slowly you pull yourself up. You've got to get over that wall. You throw your balance and land on a heap right on the leg. And then you pass out. When you open your eyes, Red's looking down at you.
Drink this, Doc. Did you take your pills?
Yeah.
We're getting out of here. Ain't even safe on this side of the wall now with those shells. Where's the battalion aid station?
The village, where we were last night.
Hey, you're turning gray.
More water.
Doc, how do you operate this plasma cup?
No, water. Plasma takes a long time.
I didn't ask you that. You're getting some right here.
Bottles. Take them out of cylinders.
Yeah, that one.
The bottle in the kit.
All right. I got it. Go ahead.
Hang up the two bottles so that the powder of that one and the water from the other one run into the empty one. Then attach the syringe tube.
Yeah. All right. All set, Doc. Where do I stick it in?
Give it to me. I'll jab it into my vein.
What do I do after that?
Takes a long time. Maybe you ought to get back.
I said, what do I do?
There's nothing to do but wait till it's all gone.
All right. So we wait.
From here on, it's all a jumble of odd things to remember. You remember hobbling along with Red, each helping to take the load off the other's leg. You remember a Nazi tank that didn't pay any attention to you. You remember that Red's words came out slowly and formed themselves into printed sentences in front of you.
There's a bunch of our half-track parked by the aid station. The dopes. They ought to know better. Hold tight, Jim. We'll be there soon.
You remember that Red never called you Jim before. You remember that an airplane came down at you. It dropped a lot of stuff. The half-tracks went all to pieces. The aid station crumbled. You and Red tried to run, but you didn't get far.
Red, are you all right? Red, where are you?
Well, so you've decided to talk, have you?
Is he all right?
How you feeling, soldier?
What?
You've been asleep a long time, Peterson.
Sleep? Where am I?
Base hospital in Africa.
Africa.
Africa? Base hospital. That means you've got from a battalion aid station to the clearing station farther back. And then on to the evac hospital. And then to the base here. And all the while you were out cold.
Excuse me, sir. How long since...
3 weeks. Almost 4 now. Then you remember. Your hand still toward your leg.
Here. Now keep your hands where they belong. All right, Peterson, you still got your leg. You're lucky. They told me that aid station was blown off the map.
And Red was...
I wish I could tell you more about it, but, well, that's all I know. If you'll give me his name, I'll try to locate him for you if he's alive. Oh, here's a package that came for you a couple of days ago.
You open a small package. A fountain pen rolls out and rolls across the cover of your bed. You open the folded letter and you read...
Hiya, Doc. It's me, Red. I'm in one of those parking stations, waiting to go home. Leg's doing fine. Bill's here, too. He says, hello, Florence Nightingale. I was thinking, maybe I was wrong about not wanting a friend. Anyway, here's my pen, in case you don't have one. If you don't want to write me a letter, just toss it in a basket. But if you do write, well, I'd like to hear from you.
Incidents in this broadcast are based upon facts. The names used, however, are wholly fictitious, and any similarity to those of actual individuals in the armed forces is coincidental. In just a moment, we will tell you about next week's Man Behind the Gun. But first, a word from the makers of Elgin watches.
Heavy tanks weigh more than 10 tons. Heavy cruisers more than 10,000 tons. Yet all this massive weight, all this brute strength is controlled and put into action with the aid of delicate precision instruments. This is a war of precise timing as well as of great weights of arms. Since first given the task of producing many of these vital instruments, the Elgin Watch Company has devoted itself to this work. It is an assignment of great responsibility, and it is the reason why your jeweler may show you only a limited selection of Elgin watches. The remembrance of these fine American watches is left in your trust against the day when peace will bring them back again. Meanwhile, care for the watch you now own. Wind it carefully each morning. Protect it from jolts and jars. At least once a year, have it inspected by your Elgin jeweler. Remember, time is a munition of war. The time on your wrist is vital to victory.
Behind the Gun joins a grateful nation in congratulating the United States Marine Corps on its 168th birthday. Mindful of the undimmed glory of the Leathernecks from the halls of Montezuma and the shores of Tripoli through the jungles of Guadalcanal and Bougainville, we wish this oldest branch of America's armed forces many, many happy returns of the day.
Next week, the man behind the gun is a brass hat at the invasion of Rendova. A brass hat who chalked up a landing record that may not be broken for a long time, and then had his ship shot out from under him. Don't miss it next week at the same time. The Man Behind the Gun is produced and directed by William N. Rosen. Tonight's broadcast was written by Forrest Barr. Jackson Beck is the narrator, and the original musical score is composed and conducted by Van Cleef. The Elgin National Watch Company presents The Man Behind the Gun each week at the same time. Elgin, as you know, is making precision instruments for the armed forces of the United Nations. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
WBBM Air Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago.